Hello, so here we are, and I want to offer you some very quick reminders for daily practice. These are actually reprinted in every version of our daily practice prayer books, but I wanted to do a video version as well to kind of reaffirm what I consider to be these 10 things that are really at the heart of daily practice, particularly at the heart of something that, such as a 30 Days of Goddess Practice container where you're building like a dedicated daily practice over a period of time. So it could be 15 days, it could be 60 days, it could be 600 days, but these 10 things guide you in creating that space for yourself. And they're kind of the 10, tenets of daily practice and why it matters. So it's all encapsulated in there. This is something that I had written, more than a year ago when I started 30 Days of Goddess, and they still hold the heart. They still hold the key. They still hold the essence of the process and the essence of the practice together. So the first one is to keep it simple. You can always add things. You can always layer things on. You can always get bigger, but keep it simple to start with, because simple is powerful, and simple means you can always do it. If you memorize a prayer, you always have that prayer with you. If your commitment is that you say your prayer every day, you kind of can't not do it because it's there. So keep it simple, keep it small. And I've said in a couple other videos that one of the secrets, if you feel stale or crumbled, is to go big, but one of the other secrets is to go small, to bring it in to the small, the soft, and the sacred, and to return to the core, So keep it small. Keep it nurturing and personally meaningful. So your practice should be about something that fuels and restores you, not something that you saw someone else do or that you think somebody else likes, but something that is authentic to you and that is replenishing and nurturing and sustaining to you. And so you're the one who knows what that is. And there's a lot of resources sprinkled throughout this class and kind of in everything I offer, and you're welcome to mix and match and pick and choose from all those things to build the blessing basket that meets your needs best, that serves you best. So there is not something I'm going to get there to the no right way, but they're keeping it nurturing and personally meaningful, not the way that somebody else said to do it, but the thing that is personally meaningful to you. 4 is trust the joy and yourself. We can learn so much by listening to our joy, by trusting our joy, by following our joy. So do you know what joy feels like to you? I find some of us have lost touch with joy. Some of us don't know what joy feels like. But usually if we give ourselves time, there are moments, there are those little bubbles that feel like joy and that feel like trust and that feel like truth. So when you feel that bubble, when you feel that joy, trust the joy and trust yourself. One of the things I see with all kinds of self-development, spirituality, self-help, etc., is kind of the idea of putting the authority in an external, looking outward for the right way, the right person, the right teacher, the right book, the right system. And in many ways, it is about coming back to trusting yourself, what you feel in your bones. And it can be easier to look outward for the answer, but there's a lot that we carry inside of us, and we need space to listen and space to hear that so that we can trust it, And then the number 5 is keeping your promises to yourself. I really feel like this is one of the most significant lessons of the 30 Days of Goddess process. And one of the whole reasons that I created this was to give you a space, give you a loose framework, give you a process of exploration and discovery and magic making and sacred space tending and mindfulness and creativity. Make a space, make a system, make a process, make a container that then can become what you want. So I saw so many people who were looking for, that answer or that way or that method. And I thought, what can I make that is infinitely flexible, but still creates a holding space for all that magic, for all that beauty, for all that magic, for all that power, for all those things that people crave. And so this was kind of my answer, is that here's this process, but inside it can hold so much that is coming from you. And so keeping your promises to yourself is one of the most powerful gifts. That's how self-trust, when we talked about trusting the joy in yourself, that's how self-trust grows and blooms, is the showing up, the over and over, the keeping your promise over and over. And that's how strength grows. That's how trust grows. That's how courage grows. That's how power grows. That's how magic grows, is in keeping the promise. And so even if it is as simple as lighting a candle and placing your hand on your heart, every time you do that, the power that underlies it gets deeper and stronger. And when you show up and keep your promise, even when you don't feel like it, sometimes that can be even more powerful, because you can see, like, I can trust myself. I can trust myself. And then that trust grows and grows and strengthens and becomes richer and deeper. Keep your promises. Commit to a daily practice of some kind. So we already talked about that. Like, make the commitment. Follow the inspiration. You might feel like wandering off into the woods. You might feel like singing. You might feel like doing some stretching. You might feel like lying on the ground with your eyes closed and letting the sunbeams soak into you. You might feel like collecting leaves and making a simple mandala on the ground. You might feel like dancing in the rain. You know, you might follow the inspiration. Follow the inspiration. That's part of how trust grows too. 8 is there is no behind and there is no right way, really, I promise. So what I offer is ideas. What I offer is possibility. What I offer is encouragement. And what I hope I offer is inspiration. There's no right way and there's no behind, really. If you're doing the prayer book and you skip a page, just keep going. I'm serious. Like, just keep going. We'll get to that in a minute too, but if you find that you've missed you haven't drawn the oracle card, draw it right then. If you find that you didn't repeat your prayer and now it's 10 o'clock at night, say that prayer right now. You're keeping your commitment, you're keeping your promise, but there's no behind and there's no right way. I promise. And we all have real lives that are multi-layered and complex, and we can't always do everything that we imagine that we can do, and that's okay too. No behind, no right way, I promise. And then 9 is trust the goddess and the sacred, trust the goddess and the sacred to show up in some way every day. That is I've said before that I make few promises in life. One of the few things that I will promise is that if you show up every day, if you open your heart every day, if you step out into your sacred space every day, if you keep showing up, something will happen. I promise. The goddess, the sacred, will show up too. Will meet you in your own life where you are. That breath of the grace filling your lungs, that pulse of the holy right beneath your skin, that touch of the sacred in all things. You will see it. You will feel it. You will experience it. Some days will be more powerful than others, but it will always be there. And then number 10 is something I reinforce and re-say again and again, and it's worth a revisit today too, which is that you are your own sacred space at any time, at any place, no matter what you've skipped or missed or want to catch up with, no matter how behind you feel, no matter how frazzled, no matter how overwhelmed, no matter what, you can lay a hand against your heart and you can come home to yourself and remember you are your own sacred space. You can center yourself back into presence. You can feel the pulse of the sacred that connects you to it all, and remember that you belong right there with just that. So we can get much fancier. We can do all kinds of oracle cards. We can do all kinds of rituals. We can do self-anointing. We can do movement. We can do writing. We can do art. But coming back home to the reminder that you are your own sacred space can be the most powerful practice of all. So no matter what you've missed, no matter what you've skipped, no matter what you've laid aside, put that hand against your heart. Come back to center. Remind yourself that you belong. The pulse of the sacred is right beneath your skin. And then you did it. That's still your practice right there. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for giving yourself this time and for embarking on this journey. It will change your life.